Hey, what's going on YouTube? Techlo's back with another video, and today is the day that I will be taking a look at the Atari VCS Indiegogo campaign. I didn't get a notification when it went live, and by the time I actually found out that it was live, I came and found out that they had already raised almost $2 million. Wow, 1,817% of what they were asking, which was $100,000. So I'm not going to talk about the controversies behind the fact that Indiegogo doesn't have to have a product and that, you could get scammed and all this stuff like that. I'm not going to talk about the controversy behind the Atari VCS. Well, maybe I will a little bit, but you can watch my video. It's called Stop Hating on the Atari VCS. And in that video, I just talk about, my opinion on why people hating on it is just a little bit too much. But again, we're not going to go there. I've already made the decision that if I'm going to spend $100 on a classic NES classic that I have to hack to get all the games on, right? $100 there. That I might pay $200 for this console, which will come with a mainframe that can do some old school games with the UI that can play Atari games. And also, I might be able to use it as a media box for other things, which is going to happen, right? Maybe some hyperspin, maybe I can use it to stream Steam games. So really, the possibilities are endless. And I talked about that in my previous video, again, talking about how the NVIDIA Shield is my favorite console, and not because of the gaming capabilities, because of what I use it for media and the universal use of it, right? And again, touching on that concept of how basically NVIDIA had already done the K1 chip, and it was used in the Switch, and the only reason the Switch is becoming so big is that it has that Nintendo brand on it, but the capabilities of the Switch was already out there. It's just, the brand, right? Like Warren Buffett says. So anyways, I digress. We're checking this out. So we're going to watch this video. We're going to just watch a little short clip of this video. I think this one's about 3 minutes. So we'll just kind of watch the beginning together.
Opened a portal into our living rooms with the Atari 2600. Now, we're ready to reopen that portal and introduce a brand new Atari product, inspired by the past, but created, designed, and engineered for today. Introducing the Atari VCS.
The 2600 was just this meteor from another planet. It crashed here and kicked off the evolution of all gaming life as we know it.
Not only was this sort of a video game console, but it was turning television into a more social activity.
It was like we were transported into the future.
Something magical happening on the TV for the first time.
It is pretty exciting to see Atari kind of come back and take what they did well and reimagine that for this new generation that are playing.
So I'm going to go ahead and mute that, and, feel free to check out the site, and, check out the whole video. It is pretty interesting. My couple takeaways I have from it, one is that, people calling it a scam. I really don't want to continue to defend it, but, you got some people, these guys here, maybe it's a money grab, but they put the effort into doing this, and in my opinion, it goes back to that fact that, like, I can appreciate it. They're putting this project together through all this, negativity. It's coming to fruition. Again, I agree. Once it's out there and people see what it can do, maybe that final decision will be made on the quality of the console. But again, that's the point of being an Indiegogo backer, is that you're kind of just gambling on the fact that maybe it's going to be awesome and you'll get it first, right? I have a friend who invested in one of those electronic skateboards, and he bought like 4 of them, I think. And now I think he paid back like $800, and now they're worth like $1,500 or something like that. So in that instance, it was a good investment. But for me, coming from the retro scene, it's more of a just like, yeah, I'm getting this. I don't care. I'll figure it out after the fact. And it is what it is. My money, right? So we'll keep scrolling here. Classic reimagined. some more, video or pictures of the actual console. See, at a glance, what you can do. Again, stream, play, connect, customize, curate, and commands. So I did see that it did have that voice command on there in that video. Here's a little from the Atari Vault. Again, this is going to be touching. Now, I don't think this is the final UI of what it's going to look like. But again, I talked about this in my last video too, about a polished experience for Atari. You can download apps on the Switch and stuff that do that. Again, to me, I really just can't see the argument any different than an NES Classic. If they can, deliver that polished experience, and when I'm showcasing my game room, I don't have to actually turn on my Atari 2600 or my 5200, 7800, fumble with the games to show people what it was like to play this, and I can use this. It's awesome because a lot of times I do that with my super old consoles. Nobody really sits down to play like hours of gaming on an Atari or a ColecoVision, but it's really more like showing somebody what it was like, or this was the experience, these are the games that I used to play, and stuff like that. So that is pretty cool. I know that it does have online capabilities. There is a showcase here of Tempest 4000. This is a new Tempest game which you can get on different platforms, but it just kind of showcasing that. We'll go ahead and skip over that. It's got some studios that they've already established a connection with. And then here's some videos kind of showing the controller, which again, I really do appreciate the fact that in itself, again, here I go on my rant again, but any controller that you buy, a cheap-ass controller is going to cost $29.99, period. And to be able to have a wireless Atari controller with LEDs is freaking sick. I'm loving it. I would have bought that anyways. Here's some showcase of somebody actually using the console. At first, I thought he was using something else and not even connected to the Atari, but he's actually connected to the Onyx Black Atari, and you just have the wood grain one right here. So he's playing it there. And then again, they talk about the collection of Atari games that'll come with it. While this is not the final UI, they're just an illustration of what kind of games it'll have. And then here we have the specs. So now AMD Radeon processor. It's comparable, from what I understand, to an R7, and I think that'll be down there in the specs. We'll come down to that a little bit later. But again, OS, Linux, and Ubuntu, and some more information. Now, as far as this smart controller, or this new age controller, I like it. I don't like that orange thumbstick. I hope that comes off. With the exception of that, I do like how it has the multiple lights here, orange, pink, and blue. I do like that. And I believe that might come off. Not 100% sure. But I'm going to scroll down here to... So here is your options. You can back the Collector's Edition, the Onyx Edition, the Onyx with joystick, the joystick on its own, the modern controller, or both the controllers together. So those are your options. And then I wanted to touch base here. So going through the specs, again, it's compatible with Linux. The operating system is Ubuntu. It's got 32 gigabytes of storage, 4 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 32 gigabytes of memory. It's running the Bristol Ridge A10 CPU, but here we go, GPU Radeon R7. So I'm going to go over here to the GPU hierarchy. And if you've never checked this out, this is basically the hierarchy of GPUs, right? So at the top, you got your 1080 Ti and your Titan. And then on the AMD side, you got your RX Vega 64. So I have on my rig here a GTX 1070 Ti, and downstairs on my home theater PC I have the R9 Fury X, right? So I'm here at level 2 now with these new ones that are out. And then the R7, the high end of an R7 is, let's see here, right here with the R7 370. and I believe the bottom is a 240. R7 240. So we're in the top tier, and let's go down and look, where does Intel even come in the game? It's not, they didn't even list it anymore with Intel integrated graphics. So it's still top tier. I mean, definitely it's up there. So especially if it's a high-end R7, we'll find out once it comes out. So we're definitely going to be able to do some stuff, on the back end of this device. So anyways, again, more Atari VCS content for people to argue about in the comment section. I will be taking a look at that. I still can't believe it raised $2 million. That's pretty crazy. So, I don't know if I'm going to do the collector's edition, but we'll find out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.